written in the
Your
first
agent
person.
is like, shut this episode down.
Shut it
Is
down.
this fucking
it
play
down.
about us?
I hope she did it.
That's great.
'Cause that's
yeah,
fucking
me
awesome.
too.
I say fuck them if they can't take a joke.
I agree.
Like, get a fucking sense of humor. You're at a funeral. Like, come on. So the affidavit says, quote, she said she was trying not to kill him, but admitted to stabbing him because she was, quote, so angry.
I wonder how many orgasms before that were just kind of like not that great to get to that point. That's
Last time you came that hard, you had a stroke.
Poop for Charlie.
Now you're
Here
getting
we go.
pooped.
Girls, it's happening.
Welcome to
Thank
GACC,
you, Alan.
where you get
Okay.
shit on.
This is it.
Viewer discretion is advised. Fucking do it.
Okay. Hello and welcome to Gossip at the Corpse Cart, where swine and crime gals talk about some shit you've seen in your news feeds, or maybe stuff you haven't, and that's
And
what we're
probably
here for.
DM'd to us.
Yes, also some of the worst things that you've ever done. And today we are welcoming a very, very, very special guest. Well, first of all, I'm Lucy.
And I'm Amanda. And our very, very special guest today is the incomparable, the talented, the Halo
Irish.
Charlie Murphy.
Hey!
Hello, thank you. Thank you for
Welcome.
having me.
Oh, we're so happy that you're here.
We're honored.
For girls, I have to say, you do some good accents.
Oh,
We did.
They're
You are-
enjoyable, if anything. They're just
Okay. We do some enjoyable accents. Good.
Yeah, good's a strong word.
excellent. I know exactly where I was when I heard the Your Irish Crimes episode.
Oh no!
Oh,
no!
It's like your 9/11. Where were you?
Where was I? I was doing we were doing a night shoot and I was doing a sex scene in a garden at 4 a.m. and it was
With
so
just
cold.
our voices
Oh,
in
no.
your
Yeah, we had a little
earbuds. Yeah.
tent. It's so like not sexy. You're sitting with, a little tent and everyone's huddled around a heater and you're all in those kind of like big coats and
Yeah, and you have
really
like
underneath it and just headphones in. I was like, oh, this
you
is
have like
okay,
a
this is my
modesty
escape.
merkin on, and you're listening to us do Irish crimes.
I did.
I know. They make you wear the modesty merkin.
I know,
Really?
actually. I could
Free the
have shown it to you. It's up
beaver.
there. My-
You kept it.
Oh my God,
Yes.
I need to see it.
I'll send you a picture. I'll send you
Yes,
a picture.
it's a
Please.
requirement.
Yeah. So hashtag show us Charlie's merkin is going to be
Murphy's
trending.
Your your modesty merkin.
Your modesty merkin.
Yeah.
Do the people with penises get like a
sock.
boner preventer?
There was a lot of different bits and bobs. There's a whole bag of tricks for when you're doing your tricks. Oh yeah, they're called barriers. They're barriers. So like, yeah. Lots
Do they
of
keep them from
cushion.
getting erections, or does that just happen?
I've never experienced it myself.
I mean, I would have to imagine
yeah.
that it does happen
Yeah.
and that
too.
it might be challenging to get an erection when you're under a bunch of lights with like 60 people in a room watching you simulate sex.
Yes.
It's work.
It's so
You know?
weird. Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
probably not getting you have to kind of fake getting horned up. It's
You do.
acting.
You have to go to other places and, stave off the existential crisis you're having in your head going, is this my job?
I mean, that sometimes actual organic and consensual sex, you need to do the same thing.
True.
You do. You have to go places. You do. It's so true.
I'm
Anyway,
reminded
it's
of
turned away. You're like, oh my God. Okay, what else is going on today? What else do I-
what do I need from the grocery store?
I have so much
Exactly.
laundry
Your
piled
meal
up.
planning.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's like me 15 minutes in, where I'm like, oh, Jesus. Okay,
15 minutes. Jesus, Amanda. That's
long.
it's good
Too
going.
long. Yeah.
Yeah, well.
Good job.
Anyway,
Anyway,
this got in already. This is incredible.
I was
Thank
also
you for
reminded
being
of
here.
that those two people in Love Actually who are like
Yes.
the
yeah.
body doubles. They're just having
Yeah.
casual, like, first date conversation while,
It's
like,
so cute.
thrusting.
Fucking
It's
love
the
that movie.
sweetest.
Oh,
All
my
right.
God. All right. Well, Charlie, we're so excited to have you here. I cannot wait for you to read Coven Confessions in your authentic Irish accent.
They're going to
Thank
be
you. I'm
very
so excited.
cute. And even though I'm sure the content will not be very cute. We haven't seen them either.
Okay.
Our producer
okay.
pulls them for us, so we're all in this together.
Great.
We
I
are.
got my partner to print them out for me.
Perfect.
So I haven't seen them either. But yeah, we'll see how that goes.
She likes
love
to
it.
read from the hard copy.
Yep, she's old school.
She's analog, yeah.
Mhm. She's analog. That's what we call it. That's right.
Well, should we dive right in with some crazy headlines from Amanda?
I've got a weird batch. I don't know what the theme is. I don't know if there is one, but I say that I feel like every month and then we discover one. So
Mhm.
I'll just dive in. This first one just feels very much like something I would do if I showed up at Lucy's house and I rang the doorbell and she didn't answer. And you also have a really nice front porch, and this also happened in Iowa. So I just feel like it's very Amanda coded, and we're very aligned
Okay.
in this headline.
Okay.
And there is a photo of her mugshot on the drive, which is also very Amanda coded. So feel free
Look at
to
that.
take a peek at it so you can get a nice visual if you'd like.
I'm flattered that you assume that I have a functioning doorbell because I don't.
I would knock if you didn't answer the ring. I would knock, and then I would do this. Okay.
Okay.
Woman accused of lighting fire on porch after no answer at friend's house.
Don't light my porch.
Then answer your fucking door.
Then don't use the doorbell.
Then I will knock. I knocked. And I probably texted and probably called. I'm lighting that fire, bitch. I'm lighting her up. Lighting her up.
What was so important that she needed to get through that door?
That is a good question that I really hope we get an answer
She
to.
was out of gummies.
Oh my God, I would never.
Where the fuck is my vape?
Where the fuck is my vape? This is out of Burlington, Iowa. How far from you is that, if you even know?
Burlington. I mean, I've heard of it.
Yeah.
That's
All right.
step one.
A
I'll find
Burlington woman was arrested after police say she lit items on fire on a stranger's porch. She thought it was her friend's house. Oops.
Oh, it's 144 miles from here.
Okay, that's pretty far.
If you walked,
I hate when you do this.
it would take you 3 days and 8 hours to walk.
I fucking hate when you do.
Just with a lighter in your hand.
Yes. Ready to go.
A kerosene lamp.
Yes. Michelle Young, 46, faces charges of reckless use of fire / destructive devices. A serious misdemeanor and possession of drug paraphernalia, you don't say. A simple misdemeanor. A judge set bond at $5,000. She has a preliminary hearing. This is, from March, but this is not from May. It's from March. I'm sorry. I'm behind. Okay. Everybody get over it. According to an arrest affidavit filed in Des Moines County Court, Burlington Fire and Police responded at 4:38 p.m. to the 2200 block of Vineyard Street for a porch fire. The homeowner said her home security cameras captured a woman on the porch who lit something on fire. The homeowner said smoke was also visible in the footage. Officers found the woman, identified as Young, who immediately admitted to starting the fire when officers asked her what she was doing. Young told officers she believed the home belonged to her friend. She said she also saw a sign that said "Witches Welcome," and because she was a witch, she lit some items on fire.
What the fuck?
I love this woman so much.
So she's
it
just
said
hanging
"Witches
around
Welcome."
waiting.
Yeah. I
Right.
mean, if it said "Witches Welcome," she's like doing a ritual, maybe. I don't know. Young added she was not going to hurt anyone or let the fire get out of control. Everybody fucking relax. It said "Witches Welcome." The homeowner told police she did not know Ms. Young. Young was taken to the police department and spoke with
She does
detectives.
now.
She said she had been around Vineyard Street. Okay, Charlie, you totally called this. She was literally lurking. She'd been around Vineyard Street for about 2 hours, walking and picking up miscellaneous items. The items include a car's taillight, tinfoil, bark, and a yellow lawn flag. She was definitely doing a ritual.
She's
Bark.
doing, yeah. She's getting her bits for a cauldron there.
She's getting her cauldron bits for sure.
Eye of Newt.
A car's tail light.
Cars. Honestly, this sounds like me when I'm drunk walking around Excelsior.
Yeah, totally. A traffic
cone,
a
pipe,
silverware roll.
a silverware roll, a plate in my Spanx, a random pipe that I found in an alleyway that Lucy's mom thought fell from a plane. It didn't.
A fucking valet ticket.
Oh, yeah, but I didn't take the keys. I just took the ticket. It's fine.
What was the biggest thing you've robbed?
My sister and I once rolled a car tire that we didn't take off of a car. We found it on the side of the road. And then we left it with a bouncer at a bar we went into, and he kept an eye on it. And then it was waiting for us when we left. I also took a shower caddy, like one of those tension rod shower caddies that's really tall. Yeah. And I used it like a what is that? Like a scepter. A
staff.
Yeah. We do a lot of I do a lot of like dumpster diving, street pickup when I've had a few. I'm not like breaking into people's houses. If you leave it outside, it's fair game.
Well, what about that huge magnum of wine from Olive Garden?
That was my cousin with my encouragement.
Is there wine in that, or is it real? There is.
Yeah, at least the one we took from rural Pennsylvania.
I wouldn't have thought so.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, the wine's not good, but
of course
it is there.
It's alcohol.
It is alcohol. That is.
It happened to me.
Yeah. So it did happen to me. Yeah. No, you're right. I'm a criminal. Anyway.
Great.
She said again that she believed the home belonged to her friend and that she knocked 3 times but did not get a response. Light that fire, girl. Young said she sat down on a chair on the porch and smoked a cigarette. She knocked again. When she didn't get an answer, she lit the item she had with her on fire. This is me. She said she also put clothing in the fire. I don't know what happened to her. I think she's amazing. I hope next time she knocks on someone's door, they answer or they accept the ritual that she will then conduct on your porch.
Yeah, that's like kind of it sounds like a curse.
I mean, free Ms. Young. That's all I'm saying.
Which is welcome.
Which is welcome. Okay, this next one is just pure chaos, and I'm fucking living for it. It's kind of one of those like, is this an ad lib? I don't know. I lost 125 pounds and decided to get a divorce. Woman who changed her life after she saw a Bigfoot is suing California after national park officials say it was just a bear.
What the fuck?
Go back to after the divorce. Read the rest again.
I'll just take it from the top.
Okay.
I lost 125 pounds and decided to get a divorce. Woman who changed her life after she saw Bigfoot is suing California after national park officials say it was just a bear.
That's an airtight lawsuit.
I don't care about anything in this article because that headline is so good that like the article won't matter. But
are you sure there wasn't a break and it's just 2 headlines?
Or like an ad and then a headline.
So it's, quote, I lost 125 pounds and decided to get a divorce, unquote, colon. Woman who changed her life after she saw, quote, a Bigfoot, unquote, is suing, all caps, California after national park officials say it was just a bear. Also, this is from the Daily Mail, so like, of course this is the headline.
I'm obsessed with it.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Woman, okay, also there's a photo on the drive of, quote unquote, the Bigfoot, which is just nothing. It's just a dark, wooded area. There's nothing in the photo at all. So I don't know. Whatever she took to see that Bigfoot, I would like some because I'm not seeing a goddamn thing in that picture. I can't. So, woman who swears she saw a videoed Bigfoot is suing the state of California to recognize her sighting after national park officials told her she had seen a bear. Claudia Ackley, 46, sued the California Department of Fish and Wildlife to get it to recognize Bigfoot, the enormous humanoid creature allegedly seen by thousands of eyewitnesses as an actual species. Her first court hearing is set for Monday in San Bernardino. However, a spokesman for the department would not comment on ongoing litigation. This conspiracy runs deep, you guys. Last March, Ackley was out for a hike with her 2 daughters, 14 and 11, near Lake Arrowhead, California. She says they were at a trailhead with their dog when one of her daughters saw something that made her freeze in her tracks. Claudia says she saw an alpha male Sasquatch looking. I'm gonna fucking shit my pants. Looking at her from behind a tree. Apparently, one of her daughters had been taking a video at the time. In the video, Ackley's daughter says, "I swear to God, Mom." Ackley is adamant. "I swear to God, on my life, we ran into a Sasquatch." You guys, okay, in the article, they zoom in on the photo of the alleged Sasquatch. It's nothing. It's nothing. I'm so confused.
It's just pixelated nothingness, isn't it?
It's absolute tripe.
Shadow.
It's a shadow. It looks like a tree. Am I crazy? Is there I don't know. Listeners can weigh in. Tell me, please, Lord, tell me if you see the Sasquatch, because I don't fucking see it.
I don't.
She called the State Department of Fish and Wildlife, which sent out an investigator. She showed the video to the investigator, who said she saw a bear. Ackley rejected that, saying, "My daughters have seen bears. They're not scared by bears." Ackley says this isn't the first time she's seen the creature. The first time in Washington State during a Bigfoot trek arranged as a vacation with her then husband in 2014. So I think we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of the divorce.
Alex.
Yeah.
Yep. She saw what she thought was a small 5-foot-tall Bigfoot in the trees and locked eyes with it. She even made a plaster mold of an alleged footprint.
Oh my God.
Quote, "They're supposed to be there to protect the public. They're not doing their jobs," she says. "If I can save one life, it will be worth it." I realize at that point, I'm looking at the creature and there's so much of life that we don't know. Life is so beautiful and I'm wasting my years, she says. "I lost 125 pounds and decided to get a divorce. It motivated me to chase my dreams and live my life."
Holy shit. No wonder
So she was
wants
married at the time. And
The
then
first time she saw a Sasquatch, she was married. She'd had her 2 daughters. But this sighting changed her life. She lost 125 pounds and then apparently another 200 pounds by divorcing her husband. And now she's chasing her dreams and her Sasquatch.
Of course she needs it recognized by the Fish and Wildlife.
Yes.
And
Michael
Sasquatch.
Shermer, an author, professor, and publisher, says for Ackley to win in court, she's going to need more than just eyewitnesses. Quote, "You can't sue the state of California to protect a species if you can't prove the species exists," he said. That applies to everything from a snail to a Bigfoot. You can't just show up at a conference and say, "I saw this incredible thing at 3 a.m. on a camping trip. Can I name it?" No, you have to have a body. Shermer says the way people talk to people about these things is to respect them, even if you don't necessarily respect their beliefs. Quote, "First of all, you have to listen to them," he says. "You have to show respect, ask questions, ask them what it would take to change their minds." Do you, Shermer? As for Bigfoot, he says, quote, "There's no conspiracy. Biologists would love to find another bipedal primate. It would be the find of the century. However, Ackley is determined to prove it's true. Quote, "If you think you intimidate me after being face to face with an 800-pound creature, well, you don't." This lady,
I love her.
This lady and Marjorie Taylor Greene should run for the PTA.
Oh, no.
I don't know. I don't know why. But yeah, anyway, that's how the article ends.
So
Have you ever seen a Bigfoot?
I mean, I believe her.
Do they have
I
Bigfoot
believe her.
in Ireland? Big feet?
No, they're very small leprechauns and fairies, as you well know.
Mm-hmm.
This is true. I don't fuck with fairy rings.
They're
Do you know,
creepy.
I don't either.
Just on
I
the
don't mess with
off. I mean, I've played way too much Dungeons and Dragons and gotten caught in way too many evil fairy rings in tabletop role playing to ever fuck with that shit in real life. I'm not doing it. It's not worth it.
No.
It's not
No.
worth
They're
it.
so delicate. You don't want to disturb the mushrooms.
I also don't want to be trapped by fae creatures in like an in-between netherworld for eternity.
Yeah.
For
you
like
got
a
shit
week,
to
that
do.
would be cool.
Yeah. A respite.
Yeah, but eternity's a bit much. Okay, so this next one is not a headline, but a listener and fellow Redditor sent it to me, and I just predict a very similar crossroads when one of us dies, Lucy. So I wanted to get this straightened out now so we're all on the same page.
Excellent.
Okay. And I want your opinion.
Oh.
Would I be, both of your opinion, would I be the asshole if I play the song that my mom chose for her funeral, knowing it might offend some attendees? My mom recently passed away, and our family, primarily me, are making the arrangements for the upcoming funeral. My mom always had a really excellent sense of humor, and before she passed, she told not only me, but all of the palliative care staff at the hospital that the song that she wanted played at her funeral was Ding Dong, the Witch is Dead from The Wizard of Oz. I managed to at least talk her out of the soundtrack version sung by the Munchkins and got her to agree to a classier jazz version by Ella Fitzgerald.
It's classier.
I love her so
How
much.
bored was Ella Fitzgerald that she decided one day just to record that particular song? That's deep. That's
Ella
like
Fitzgerald was never bored. That girl was getting her bag. She did so many amazing covers, but yeah, that's a weird one. But I love that it
That is
exists.
I want to
amazing.
hear it.
I know, right? Now, I agree with my mom that this would be a really funny thing to play at a funeral and would showcase her sense of humor to a T. However, I'm also very aware that not everyone that's going to come to the funeral is going to take the joke in the same spirit. And I think that some of the more religious friends and family members might be extra upset because there's a certain repeated line that implies she's going to hell. Plus, we're explicitly having a non-religious service, and one of said family members has already expressed disappointment with that. So on the one hand, I think it's my mom's funeral and I should respect her wishes above anyone else's opinions. But on the other hand, I realize that funerals are for the living and it's pretty disrespectful to do something that's going to upset those actually in attendance when obviously my mom isn't going to know either way or the other. Would I be the asshole if I still play the song my mom picked? And then she said, if it matters, my alternate choice would be Landslide by Fleetwood Mac, which was her favorite song and that we all listened to in the hospital together after she passed, which is also really lovely. What would you
Such a good
do?
song. I'd do it. I'd play it, wouldn't you? Put it into,
play
and if
both.
you're feeling it, yeah.
Play
And
both.
then even say within the eulogy, you can say that it's been requested, that you're not like a
Yes.
demented daughter that hates her mother.
I think that it would be really cute. I hope she did it, but like,
Mm.
I mean, also, I don't know if they did this, but I made a slideshow for my dad's funeral, and we always loved the song "Spirit in the Sky," so I just put that as the background for it. And some people might think that is a little bit of like a weird funeral selection, but we loved it. So like, no, I don't know. People don't. I hope she did it.
That's great.
'Cause that's
yeah,
fucking
me too.
awesome.
I say fuck them if they can't take a joke.
I agree.
Like, get a fucking sense of humor. You're at a funeral. Like,
Mhm.
come on.
Mhm.
We're brightening this up.
Yeah, for real. For real. All right, I have two more here for you. This is just adorable. You know, I love my animal news. And this is a good PSA that, like, if you get too inebriated, don't try to drive, or in this case, fly. Too drunk to fly. Intoxicated vultures rescued in Connecticut fed food for hangover.
Oh my God.
And they're so cute. There's a picture. 2 vultures rescued in Connecticut were believed to be dying. Turns out they were just drunk.
Oh, they are cute.
Oh.
They're so cute.
I thought they were chickens.
They don't look like huge vultures, but I also don't know the size of that animal carrier that it's in. So it could be a lot bigger
Wow,
than
yeah.
I'm, picturing.
The
like, to
talons
me,
are menacing.
they're big.
Mm.
If that's like a dog crate, then that's a huge fucking bird.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think that is a dog crate. I'm going to be honest.
Yikes.
Anyway. Wildlife rehabilitators, a place called Hope, in a post on social media said that the two vultures, nicknamed the Dynamic Duo, were found unable to balance or stand. They were literally drunk, the facility said, unable to balance, stand, kept passing out in our eyes, actively dying. We ran every test, and in the end, they were just too drunk to fly.
Drunk.
Poor
Where?
babies.
How?
Officials say the vultures became drunk after dumpster diving. The facility said that their staff members and those at the Watertown Animal Control suspected the worst and were confused about what was happening with the two birds until the details of their story fell into place, and it was eventually deduced that the vultures were simply intoxicated and not dying. Quote, these two, the Dynamic Duo, celebrated a day early for the eclipse by dumpster diving and getting themselves into something that was fermented enough to cause severe intoxication. Like that squirrel.
Yeah.
It's probably tossed
the drunk
out
squirrels.
Eating old
Fruit,
berries or old apples or whatever.
apples. Yeah, that stuff will ferment as it's going bad. They just got it in that sweet spot.
I love it.
The two birds were given plenty of fluids and tucked in overnight so they could recover from their hangover. The next day, this is how I want to be treated every time I overindulge. Tucked in, and then the next day they were given a big breakfast to regain their health before they could be released back into the wild. Thankfully, they returned home today before our center could be labeled a detox facility, joked the rehabilitation center. Video footage shared by the center showed the two vultures hopping and flying off the minute they were released into the open. They were later captured perching together on top of a tree. They trauma bonded. Besties.
Cute. Well, they went out together.
They went out together, and now they're just homies for life. A place called Hope in their post also advised people to be careful when discarding garbage because cocktail fruit that ends up in a dumpster can end up intoxicating wildlife if the dumpster is not kept closed.
Oh.
Drunk vultures are not easy patients, they added. Yeah, I bet. That would be terrifying. I can't. A place called Hope is a nonprofit organization entirely run by volunteers on donation that care for injured, orphaned, sick, or non-releasable birds of prey, such as hawks, falcons, harriers, kites, eagles, and owls. So they were the right people to call. They knew exactly what to do. And now those little rascally vultures are recovered and back out to wreak havoc another day.
You know, I'm kind of
That's so
surprised
cute.
when I had the possum situation.
What was your possum situation?
So it was the first time that Corey and I got a babysitter for June. And so we were going to go out and have dinner, and we
That's right.
had a couple drinks, and we were out for 25 minutes, and I get a call from my neighbor. Well, before we left the house, I saw a possum in the road.
Yes.
And it was just kind of hanging out, not really running, or it was in the daytime, and it was just kind of walking slow. And I was like, oh, that possum's probably dying. And Corey was like, well, if it's still there when we get home, I'll get the shovel or whatever.
Oh, God. Okay.
And so 20 minutes later, I just was not thinking about it intentionally because it was kind of pathetic. And my neighbor calls and was like, there's a possum in my yard. I have to take it to a rehabilitation center. Can Corey come out and help me trap it? And I was like, Corey's
We're on a date.
drunk right now. But
So yes, he can.
She was crying, my neighbor. So I was like, I can't not. So we came home and Corey got oven mitts and I got a big rubber tote.
That's right.
And he just picked it up. And that's how sick it was. And my neighbor was just crying on the phone with this place. And she's like, it's in Ames, which is 40 minutes away. They close in 5 minutes, but they're going to stay open for me. I'm going to drive it up to Ames. I was like, wow, you're committed. So we picked it up and it's making that gross possum with their weird open mouths.
Yeah, I'm smiling at him.
Well, it wasn't drunk. Spoiler. It ended up dying that night at the rehabilitation center, but she had a warm blanket. But yeah, she was at least she didn't get torn apart by neighborhood cats. That was what I was trying to avoid.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly could have been worse. I'm glad you dug deep and found your compassion to help a little bit.
Yeah.
I have
And
a
Those are
picture.
bits away.
I'll
yeah,
find the
you do have a
picture.
picture of it. Definitely make sure that we have that for the blog. But anyway, I am going to leave us on the Drunk Vultures. That is my segment of crazy headlines for this month. And I want to thank all of the people who submitted and remind folks that you can go to our website, wineandcrimepodcast.com, and under the Contact Us tab, you can send us these headlines. Just use that drop-down menu to pick funny headlines so we know where it's going. All right. Charlie, are you ready
Yes.
to read our Coven
No.
confessions?
Trick
We're not
question.
I'm
either.
so
You're not.
excited. I'm guessing there's going to be a poo one for sure. There has to be.
There
Feel
probably
it.
will be.
It
I'm
feels
feeling it.
poopy.
But it is
Feels poopy
worth
to me.
noting that whatever confessions are in your smattering today, our producer, Andrea, she pulls them specifically to appeal or be connected to the guest that's reading them. So
Okay.
if there are any hidden messages in here that you start to feel like are popping up, they were probably
Now
intentional.
I'm just like, has she called my friends to dish up dirt on me?
Oh, no, we don't go that
happening?
deep.
It's actually
We're
the
not
worst things
investigative.
you've ever done.
No, oh my
Guess
God.
what?
What if you just had... You think you're cold reading from strangers and it's just your friends put
Yeah.
together all this shit on you and make
That
you read
time
it
you
out?
had an affair with a married man? Okay.
Written in the
Your
first
agent
person.
is like, shut this
Yeah.
episode down.
Shut it
Is
down.
this fucking
it
play
down.
about us?
This is fucking play about us. All right, take it away, darling.
Okay, girls, here we go.
I'm scared.
Coven confessions. Me too. Okay. The Foreigner. It's a film I did many years ago with Jackie Chan, of all people.
Oh, Jackie Chan.
Jackie Chan. I didn't get to fight him, unfortunately.
Aw.
Okay. Long-time listener and first-time confessor. My confession may or may not unlock a new fear for Amanda. Sorry,
great.
Amanda.
Oh.
Okay. In 2017, I graduated from my college and got my diploma. Well done. After graduation, I was offered the opportunity to obtain a bachelor's degree in Ireland.
Oh.
Of course, I had to take this since I've always wanted to live abroad. However, I also suffered from moderate, kind of severe anxiety, which made everything challenging.
Felt.
Unfortunately, I feel it. My panic worsened as the year went on. Wonder what college you were in.
Yeah,
day
Charlie's
before-
like, get in my DMs.
Like-
I want the tea.
Please let me know what was going on in 2017. Okay, the day before the first of my final exams, I woke up feeling off. My one roommate was Irish and she'd already finished her program, so she had moved out. And my other roommate was I rarely saw. So I was alone, feeling increasingly weird. I thought I was having a panic attack, so I thought I would text my mom.
Good idea.
This was when I knew something was wrong. Okay, she's in Ireland. I'm guessing she's American, but we'll find out. It took me 30 minutes because at this point, I didn't even know what time it was.
Ooh.
Mum, something is wrong. I feel like I'm losing my mind. She immediately called. Imagine getting your text like that.
Oh,
She
God.
immediately called me, even though it was 5 a.m. back home.
Good mom.
After trying to talk to me, yeah, such a good man. She realized I wasn't making sense. I could say a word here or there, but for the most part, I was talking like I was hammered. My poor mum made the decision to hang up and phone my school. I was in the ER for 36 hours at this point. Way of getting out of your exams. It's just so intense.
Yeah, really.
I could no longer communicate and was very confused about everything.
Oh my God.
They finally did an MRI, and it turns out that oh my God. It turns out that I had a fucking stroke.
Oh my God.
I should have also told you guys I was only 24 years old. No one, oh my God, would have even guessed that that's what happened to me.
Holy shit.
I was in hospital for 19 days. Here's my confession. Oh my God, I thought this was the whole story. Okay,
Here's my confession.
this is
This
it.
is my confession.
Wow. 24-year-old stroke victim in hospital for 19 days. Here's my confession. 2 days in the hospital, they want to find out what caused the stroke. So they they sent me for a test called bubble test. This is when they inject microscopic bubbles into your veins to see if there are any holes in your heart. It is very common. And they use an ultrasound to view all of this. Wow. Okay, they did this 3 times. The first one with me doing nothing. The second one with me coughing. But the third test was me tensing up all of my muscles in my chest and legs.
Uh-oh.
And that's when they detected, she shot herself, no, she didn't. That's when they detected that I had a hole in my heart.
Did she masturbate herself into a stroke the night before? That's my guess. Tensing up your muscles?
We'll find out.
Okay.
I was immediately horrified because I believed that I knew what had caused this, ! The morning I woke up feeling off, I had woken up even earlier than that with some anxiety. And since I was in bed...
I knew it!
And to brush off my anxiety, I grabbed my vibrator and did some natural...
Oh my God.
Oh my God, natural oxytocin for relief. So anytime I have an orgasm, I get tensed up, just like that third test. It's not official, but it is just a theory. I think I may have orgasmed myself into a stroke. Oh my God.
That's the coolest way to have a stroke, though.
No,
But I'm like,
This
I wonder how many orgasms before that were just kind of like not that great to get to that point. That's
last time you came that hard, you had a stroke.
She's like, she was flying solo to get the job done.
Well,
Like all
no
her
man
past
could-
relationships just couldn't.
Yeah, no man could
stack
ever.
up.
No
No.
man could.
A man
Okay.
dick could never. A
Could
dick
never.
wishes.
Oh my God. This is the last
Anyway.
time. This is the last time you walked, you broke your foot. It's like the last time you came, you had a stroke. So fucking chill.
How is your foot?
Oh, it's fine.
Okay.
It's like nothing
Crawling
ever
up and down
happened.
those stairs.
Oh my God. I was.
Okay, let's put this girl out of her misery.
Wow.
Anyway, fast forward to present day. I had a procedure to close the hole up in my heart. Fantastic. And I now orgasm freely without cause of panic. I am now engaged to one of my closest lifelong friends, and unfortunately, I told him about my theory. The poor man now continuously checks me after sex to ensure I'm okay. And
She's
I think
fine.
my story might have caused some trauma for him.
Honestly, normalize checking on your partner after sex to make sure they're okay.
Aftercare.
That
Aftercare.
is. That's good aftercare.
Whether your partner is in threat of a stroke or not, just check on her. Check
And
on
I bet he's like
him.
mildly offended when she's like, yeah, I'm grand.
Yeah.
No, I'm fine. I barely tensed.
Great. You didn't have a stroke? Super.
Okay, so is I'm grand the like European version of I'm fine? It's fine.
Yes.
It's like the way you say it.
I'm okay. Yeah, I'm grand.
Yeah, I'm grand.
Yeah.
Are you sure? Are you sure, babe?
Yeah, I'm grand.
Your face looks a little.
Tell your
Slack.
face that. That's incredible.
Oh,
How
that was
did
a
you
doozy.
guess that?
I just
Yeah.
first of all, legs and chest tensing up.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely the legs. Have you ever gotten a cramp?
Yes.
Yes.
A cramp.
That's one way to pull yourself right out of the mood.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
A big
No,
Charlie
just
horse.
push on the toes. Just push on the toes.
That's very real. Wow.
Oh,
Okay.
no poop though.
Not yet. There's plenty
no
more to
poop.
go. That was the first one.
I also like that Andrea
Girls, I've got
titled
a
it.
couple of pages here.
Yeah.
Andrea titled
Yeah,
it "The
that was
Foreigner."
The foreigner.
That's good. Okay, this next title is While in Amsterdam.
Ooh, applicable. A
Very
few weeks
applicable.
ago,
I'm
anyway.
I've just moved back from Amsterdam. I was there for a couple of months. Okay. Real quick. My partner is my gateway gay, and
Oh, I
it's
love
become
it.
a weekly routine for us to listen to your new episodes after I come home. I pride myself on making the same exact jokes as Amanda, just seconds before she does. Great minds think alike.
So you're also unwell and gross. Love it so far.
Anyway, on to the story. I had just moved to Boston for a job and I met my current partner. This was the first year I had a big boy job in biotech with a nice salary, so I immediately began planning my first international trip. We decided on Amsterdam, Paris, and London. That is...
Damn, that's a great trip.
That is
triangle.
good. That is good. Okay. I'd always been a straight edge good boy in high school and college, so this was my time to shine and throw caution to the wind. The wild child in me decided that since we were in Amsterdam, this would be the perfect time to have my first experience with weed.
Oh, cute.
Amanda. Time though?
But first, yeah, I mean,
intense.
rocking the Amsterdam coffee shops for your first time is...
Yeah.
My husband and I went to Amsterdam in 2019, pre-pandemic, and I was much less of a pothead then, but he already kind of was. And we got some edibles and pre-rolls and things from the coffee shop, and it was unlike anything I had ever smoked before in my life. It was so good. It was like some of the best weed I'd ever had, but a little goes a long way on that shit.
Yeah, and I think when you intentionally ask for like, oh, you know, I'm just new to they fuck you up.
They sold me a space cake.
Yeah.
A big ass space cake. It was this, it was like a 2-hander. It took us a week to eat it because we could only eat like a bite at a time. It took us the whole week we were there.
You're just in the airport.
Yeah. The night before we left, we're like, this thing's got to fucking go. We can't fly back with it. So, anyway, continue. I feel her pain or his pain, this person's pain, their pain. I feel it. I feel it for you.
There's a few paragraphs here, so it's going to get messy.
Oh, man.
Okay. The wild child in me decided that since we were in Amsterdam, this would be a perfect time to have my first experience with weed. Mm-hmm. We went to a coffee shop and asked for something chill, but that wouldn't be too much of a downer. We took the shop owner's suggestion and lit up. I had no concept of how to marijuana, as a verb. So I just puffed away until I started to feel something. It was great in the beginning. Like a cigarette. Jesus Christ.
I just puffed away like a cigarette.
Till I felt something.
Shit.
One moment everything was fine, and the next I looked to my partner, and he was this high-def cartoon. Kind of like My Little Pony or an anime.
Oh no.
What a fucking terrifying mashup. Everything else would be normal when I looked away from him. So I did several back and forth takes and started to giggle uncontrollably. Yeah.
The cartoon world took only him.
This is it. This was
so scary.
This went on. This went on for about 45 seconds before the entire left side of my body felt like it had turned to stone.
Oh, no.
My face fell as this feeling crept across my body. Oh my God. I said what I thought was, insert partner's name here, I can't feel my body. Little did I know. I said what I thought was partner's name. I can't feel my body. Okay, that's all inverted commas. I said what I thought was Alan, I can't feel my body. Little did I know, what actually came out was barely a mumble because my face, along with the rest of my body, was paralyzed.
Oh my God.
I'm just in my vape as you read this, like, let's go.
My partner told me I just need to write it out. So I settled in for an hour or so of staring at the wall. I made the mistake of looking away from one spot on the wall, and then when I looked back, I saw two little girls dressed up in I saw two little girls dressed up in Handmaid's Tale attire, playing tug of war with a teddy bear.
What the
They
fuck?
were giggling, which no big deal, right? Nice
This is
trip.
Europe,
However,
though, so was it real or
This
was it
might
a
have been real.
hallucination?
It is Amsterdam. People
was
get
it
weird.
Like dipped in some fucking weird shit? Okay. However, they started, they were giggling, no big deal. However, they started tugging back and forth on the teddy bear faster and faster as their giggling became progressively deeper and more demonic.
Heck.
Now remember, I couldn't move, so I sat there motionless with sheer horror in my eyes. I again thought I was speaking, but it was only only a string of horrified grunts to my partner.
This sounds
that must
like
have been terrifying to witness.
so scary. But this this experience sounds like when you're in a dream and you're trying to run or you're trying to scream and like you can't.
It's like a night terror almost.
That's what this. That's how this story is. Like he's experiencing that. While
for
awake.
real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've had that. You know, when you're crying in your sleep and you wake yourself up from crying, and in your sleep you're like bawling, and it's like, you know, the proper cry, but really you're waking up to
yes,
weird noises,
totally
just bizarre sounds. Or like when I took Oxy and I woke up whispering, "I'm gonna kill you," while in bed with my husband. Because I was fighting the pale man.
No
but
more
wasn't
Oxy
this the
for
raspiest whisper as well? It was.
It was. I asked him if he heard it, and he said he didn't. But like, maybe he's just trying to protect himself. But I'm gonna kill you. It's 3 a.m.
You're so terrifying.
I'm terrifying. I don't know how
That
we're
is-
coming up on a year of marriage. I can't believe he has not gotten this annulled.
You need to get one of those watches or those apps that records you when you're snoring or talking.
No,
Doesn't it like record when? No,
that's okay. I don't want to hear that.
wow.
I don't want to know.
I don't want to know.
I don't want to know.
Okay, so we're back to this horribly paralyzed victim here. Okay, he went on to get one of the shop owners. Okay, so the partner went on to get one of the shop owners who came over, saw me, and only said, "You're not okay." And "not" is in capitals.
Oh my God.
She hurried to the front of the shop and got me a cup of sugar water to help.
Sugar
Does that work?
water.
I mean, what she's experiencing, or I keep saying she because I'm applying myself to this exact person. I've had medical emergencies. I'm a type 1 diabetic, so I have had medical emergencies where my blood sugar has gone really low and I'm not coherent. I feel like I'm paralyzed in my body, or that I'm like covered in heavy sand, sweating, not able to like form words, and like audio hallucinations, visual hallucinations. All this stuff happens with like extreme low blood sugar, to the point where I've like woken up and Bill had called 911 and there were like EMTs shoving like glucose liquid in my mouth.
Wow.
That happened right before a live stream once.
Yeah, we were. Yeah, I mean, it didn't get that bad, but I did get low right before we went live for a show. But it's like these symptoms
You're just like popping up into camera. Oh my God.
Yeah, these symptoms sound like some extreme low blood sugar. So it's actually really interesting that you say they ran and grabbed sugar water, because just getting that carbohydrate and even just drinking those combination of two things like starts to regulate your nervous system, so you can start to just like get your shit together. But damn.
PSA. Yeah, sugar water, guys. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I sipped on it for a while, and then we were moved to the front of the shop to get some air. As we were walking to the front, I had the sudden urge to vomit. I ran to the trash can. Thank God there was a trash can. And threw up. But that wasn't what it looked like to me. Think about the plasma guns you see in space alien movies or video games coming out of my mouth. I looked up in disbelief to the entire coffee shop.
Did y'all see that?
Did you see that?
It's like, yeah, you threw up. We saw it.
So this person did say, "Did you see that?"
Yeah, he yelled to the entire shop, "Did you see that?" Of course they saw it. I threw up to make things worse.
Did you see that?
Like, yes.
Holy fucking shit.
Uh-huh.
No, you sure did.
Did you? To make things worse, one of the bartenders from the sex club was walking in just as I threw up and said, "Hey, I remember you." Oh, honey.
No.
Hey, I remember.
Oh, honey.
I can never return to Amsterdam.
No, you can't.
The worst. This is the worst
That
situation.
much projectile vomiting as well makes you pee your pants. So I'm sure he pissed himself.
Yes,
Oh,
totally.
Yeah. There's no
Totally.
way those panties are dry.
No.
What a
That is
fucking first
vivid.
experience with weed. And I've
I
never
great.
smoked since.
honestly would understand if they haven't smoked since, because that's buck fucking wild. That's that's the scariest shit I've ever heard in my
That is
life.
really scary.
That experience is like why I won't do acid. Why like mushrooms are basically the top for me. That's like as far as I'm gonna go anymore. I'm too old for this shit. I'm too anxious.
I'm too scared to
I'm too scared.
do acid.
I'm way too fucking
All I
scared
can
to do
say
acid.
is don't do it while you're on your period.
I don't want to do it ever.
I just know I'm going to
Changing a tampon
self-sabotage
is not
myself
great.
so much.
Oh
Oh,
my
my God.
Yeah.
Oh,
How many tampons did you put inside yourself?
Well, just one was all I could handle because pulling it out was the worst part. So I was like,
I feel everything.
Yeah, it was so weird.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a friend who puts a few inside herself.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
just very drunk.
Oh. No, it's more
Just
of like
forgetting.
it's more of like
It's
a
not her
hyper
fault.
awareness.
She has a heavy flow and a wide set vagina.
Maybe she
Okay.
needed 2 or 3.
Maybe she did.
You don't
Maybe.
fucking
Cram 'em
know how
all
she
up
lives
there.
her life.
I mean, what is a jumbo tampon if not 3 or 4 light ones?
Little ones that are just
Mhm.
roped together.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Like
So
a
it's
little
what?
train.
It's a double jumbo. What?
It's a dub jump.
It's a dub jump. It's a DJ.
Sick.
I've completely forgotten what the fuck we were talking about. What's up? What's happening?
Talking about acid on your period.
Oh, right.
But not in this.
Too scared.
Okay. This one's titled Not So Happy Valley. It's another show I did over.
Happy
3 years,
Valley
I finished last year.
should have been the masturbation one.
Oh, that would have worked
It's
too.
a very
That
Happy
would've
Valley.
worked too.
Very.
I fucking loved Happy Valley.
Sarah Lancashire is just she's
Incredible.
amazing, isn't she?
Mm-hmm.
She's just amazing. Okay. Please keep anonymous. Okay.
Done.
Alan.
It's
I
good.
will.
It's gonna be a good
Alan,
one.
they're all going to be Alan.
Couldn't even
All-
think of a surname.
all,
of all the names.
All of the anonymous men in these are just Alan from here on out.
Okay, Alan.
Okay, Alan, we'll keep you anonymous.
Okay. I'm a graduate student tutor at Oxford and would never hear the end of it for my undergrads. Okay. But feel free to read this in as twatty an English accent as your heart desires. I am here
Yes.
for it.
Feel free,
Paid
Charlie.
for today.
Get twatty.
No, I'm guessing he's saying by twatty English accent. I'm guessing he's saying, he's like, I was working a very tough job as a librarian at London School while I was working out the direction I wanted to go in. It sounds dreamy, but it really wasn't.
Okay,
just
Charlie,
gonna
your
continue
accent's
So good at that.
your accent's pretty good, but can I recommend
Do you want to go for it?
I
Please.
just want to recommend a little like Cockney, like a little technique, like
Go for
oi,
Oi.
oi, I'm going down to the trolley to get some bangers and mash.
What?
You wouldn't get that. Okay, do you want to take over this one, actually, Amanda? This is going to be good.
No, that hurt my throat so bad. I'm not cut out for this.
You know, my
She's got a
fair
hole in
lady.
her heart. Be careful.
Oh,
And
no.
I might. Honestly, if I had a stroke on this episode, that'd be such fucking good content. You have
It
my
would
consent
be.
to keep going. Just finish this up.
We'll just play Ella Fitzgerald's rendition of The Witch is Dead and keep
John,
going.
make me look good. Like you, John, clean up my audio. It'll be fine.
Uh-huh.
Thanks, John.
Okay. Okay. A librarian at London School while I was working out the direction I wanted to go. And it sounds dreamy, but it really wasn't. Needless to say, I got a bit depressed. And so I used to take weekend trips to get that sense of freedom and fresh air. One weekend, I decided to go on a hike along the River Ouse, which held some
I'm
significance
sorry,
for me.
ooze?
The river ooze.
What does it do? It
Does
oozes.
it ooze? How is
Yes,
that
it
spelled?
Ouse.
Okay.
Now, in fairness, they just wrote ooze in phonetics beside it. I would have definitely said ouse.
Ouse. Yeah. That's reads like ouse.
Like house in Cockney.
It's house without an H. Yeah. Ouse.
Better than ooze.
Come on down to my house. No, but I do like the river ooze is poetic.
Yeah.
Witches welcome at my house.
My house on the river ooze.
Okay. One of my favorite writers, Virginia Woolf, died by suicide by drowning along that river.
Oh, God.
It's a lovely weekend trip.
Yeah, she just walked in and drowned
with
herself.
rocks in her pockets, right?
I think so. That's
I
badass.
mean, sometimes
That
death is a
is-
mercy.
Sometimes.
You get it, girl. Do what you gotta do.
It's a good river, I suppose, for that. Okay. And while this may sound nuts, I thought that my far less depressed, but ultimately still sad and stagnant feeling self might benefit from going on pilgrimage to remind myself life wasn't all that bad and to enjoy the beautiful scenery as well.
Oh,
I also wanted to show a bit of posthumous respect. Wolf had an awful time with what was clearly bipolar, and there was no lithium for it. So she had to go through a hell of a lot, all the while writing some of the best stuff I've ever read. And that includes a description of writing thinking as pooping. And that includes a description of writing thinking as pooping. You think you're done, but then more just keeps coming out. I've never heard that.
oh God.
She was obviously saying it to shock, and I love her for it all the more. If I had only known how closely I would come to associate her with my own bowel-based adventures.
Oh, my Lord.
Anyway.
Here we go.
Poop for Charlie.
Now you're
Here
getting
we go.
pooped.
Girls, it's happening.
Welcome to
Thank you,
GACC,
Alan.
where you get
Okay.
shit on.
This is it. My walk starts at a little town station. I found the river and I began to walk along it. The route takes me down the valley along the towpath and is set to end at a second little station where trains come every hour or so, and which this is my way back to town. So far, so peachy. I have my lunch with me along with a bag of low-sugar chocolate treats, which now I think of it must have contained some sugar replacement that set the whole thing off.
Yep.
I chomped and stomped happily along, humming whimsical tunes and thinking life was rather wonderful after all. I get nearly to the end of the walk and suddenly disaster.
It's bad.
You know that something's happening.
It's not good.
You know the thing where you are absolutely fine and then suddenly something drops. And you have about 30 seconds before you need to do an absolutely colossal poo. That happened. Yes, we all know that feeling. My bowels grumbled and a very large brown trout moved downriver, making its presence felt. I knew I couldn't reach the station before it burst forth. Why would you be running towards the station? Run away. So I looked around wildly for a bush or shelter and nothing. The track was open to the valley and there were no trees or gaps where I could hide. I waddled onwards towards the bridge and track to the station. Little tortured toots escaping me every step.
Where you like hope it's gonna be the fart that just like ends your stomach ache. It stops this whole thing. It's like, oh, I just needed to fart really bad, but like deep down, you know it's not over.
Yeah.
You know that the worst is yet to come.
Yeah, that was a precursor.
That's bad. I was praying to all the potty gods to spare me. Then, just as I was walking up towards the station, I saw my chance. There was a road over the bridge where occasional cars passed and a field of wheat opposite the station. Wheat is not going to help the situation. It's going to make it worse. Okay, it was across from the station building. It was tiny, just a strip of platform in the middle of nowhere. Okay.
Oh no.
In the corner of the wheat field was a small clearing where I could hide behind the fringes. Okay. I looked both ways to check no other hikers were coming and that nobody was on the platform, then sprinted into that field and squatted just in time. Oh, thank. Okay, I can only say that Virginia's analogy was right. What came out of me just kept on coming, and it was hot and horribly squishy.
Oh.
The resulting pile looked a bit like something a very large, sick animal would produce. I then...
So a hiker stumbles upon that, like reports it to a wildlife center.
Yeah, there's a dying cow somewhere here.
There's something out here that's not right.
This is finally our proof of Bigfoot.
Bigfoot.
Oh, God. I then realised, well, of course, I badly needed to wipe, but had no tissues. The horror.
Oh.
The only solution was to clench... No. The only solution was to clench my buttocks together hard to stop my any residue escape. No. Pull up my pants. No, don't do any of this. Pull up my pants before anyone walked past and get to the train on time. Wouldn't you just take your knickers off?
Yes. Yes.
Sacrifice the knickers.
Yes.
Or
Yeah.
sacrifice a sock.
Yeah, something.
You remove
Something.
a level 2 essential item
I'd
and
sacrifice
wipe with
my
it.
bra.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Yes. And
Hair extension. Anything.
Yes, I have plenty of those.
My weave.
Flossing. I wouldn't sacrifice my weed.
Weave.
Oh, okay.
It was one stop, and I stood all the way as to not dirty my jeans, hoping and praying no one would smell me.
Honey, it didn't work. That didn't
Everyone
work.
smelled you, hon. Okay, I then made a beeline for the main station bathroom, wiped, removed my underwear into a carrier bag in my rucksack for washing later, scrubbed my hands about 3 times, and then caught my train home with a sigh of relief in every sense of the word. I only hope that nobody found my stinky stealth sausage.
Stealth sausage.
If they did, thought it was a dog. Thought it was a dog's. I'm so sorry about anyone who might have eaten bread from that wheat, but I like to think Virginia would have found it funny.
I forgot
That
about
is
the
a
wheat.
really good one. Yeah.
I thought she was going to shit in the river ooze and just desecrate Virginia's memory.
And then notice that some people are
We're watching.
canoeing by or
Right.
something. Oh, God.
Swimming.
God.
Yeah.
No.
Having a picnic on its banks.
No.
Yeah. Jesus.
Because that's
Just
kind of
with, the kids are all there with nets looking for tadpoles.
I mean, that's probably what my
Round
instinct
trout.
would be. If I was walking next to a river, if the weather permitted, I'd be dropping trout and wading in. Because then you can clean yourself up a little after.
Yeah.
Your clothes are safe on the shore. They're dry.
Nice
They're
as
clean.
well, that rolling water, the
Yeah.
oozing water.
What if someone was like,
Cheeks.
she's trying to pull a Virginia and dives
Pull her out.
in and pulls
No!
you out?
No, I'm just shitting.
You're
I'm
mid
fine.
crap.
I'm fine.
I'm just shitting.
Mentally stable at this moment. Okay. The last one, girls,
All right.
called Obsession.
Oh, also fitting.
Okay.
Another
all
show
right.
I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. Very good. Okay. This confession is... Oh, Amanda. This
I feel
confession is
targeted.
specifically for Amanda.
God
Oh.
damn it. Okay.
It might not be the worst thing I've done, but it's not great, and I need to come clean about it.
Oh, confession.
I'm scared. I've done more for less. Let's do this.
When I was a little nerdy kid, I spent a lot of time at the public library, a lot of libraries. And sometimes I'd really latch on to a topic and it would consume me.
Mm-hmm.
One of those things,
Hyperfixation, baby.
yep, was aggressively researching pink dolphins.
No.
Oh, those fleshy fuckers.
The river, the
Yeah.
pink river dolphins.
Yeah, they're so foul looking.
Didn't they? What was that? What was it again that you were talking about, the pink dolphins? They were throwing an eel around, a river
Oh, yeah,
eel
and
around or
fucking
something?
it.
Oh, yeah, they were.
or they were really
masturbating with
aroused
it.
or something.
yeah, they were masturbating with it.
Dolphins are
Yeah.
whack.
Yeah,
They're
not great.
horny fuckers. Okay.
They're not right.
But it feels good.
No, but it feels so
Um,
good.
If only more of them would
Listen.
have strokes.
I had a lot of PowerPoints that were just information I found on why.
No!
I found on Wiki about pink dolphins with accompanying photos from Google Images. I drew dolphins on everything and would colour them pink. I knew so much about them, but somehow missed the terrible stuff, confirmation bias. And I completely forgot about that period of my life until I was just casually listening to the podcast and Amanda started talking about pink dolphins and I had a visceral reaction. It was flashbacks immediately to my long lost obsession. And now that I know the truth, I feel weird about it.
Yeah. You know what? You should feel weird about it.
Yeah. Shame by proxy.
Yup.
Sex shame by proxy. Kink shame by proxy.
Let your shame flow through you, babe.
Like the river ooze.
Like the river ooze, home of your favorite dolphins. Wow.
Oh, that's
Well
funny.
done.
Amazing.
Those were
That was
beautiful.
so much fun.
You did
Thank
an
you.
excellent job.
Oh my gosh. I love it.
All right, time for Coroner Corner. I've got a smattering. I think theme-wise, it would be like nature. Except for
Oh.
this first one.
Okay.
I mean, yeah. Okay, here we go. This one was sent in by Aubrey, and the title is Woman Charged with Second-Degree Murder After Gruesome Incident.
Ugh, okay.
A 32-year-old woman has been arrested and charged with second-degree murder after a stabbing on Tuesday evening. This happened in Colorado, and this was just like a week and a half ago.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Grand Junction police responded to the Woodspring Suites just before 9 p.m. on Tuesday for a call about an unresponsive male.
Ooh.
According to the police department, the man was found with a suspected knife wound and was pronounced dead at the scene. Shunting Guo is this woman's name, was arrested and booked into the Mesa County Detention Facility. According to the arrest affidavit, Guo told police she and the man had been in a romantic relationship. She thought she was pregnant and was arguing with the man over whether or not he was the father of the child.
Uh-oh.
During the argument, according to police, Guo said she stabbed the man in the leg. So the affidavit says, quote, she said she was trying not to kill him, but admitted to stabbing him because she was, quote, so angry.
Okay.
And just as a little extra comment, she also told police she cut off the man's penis. Guo told police the man didn't appear to be in pain, so she went to the city market nearby and bought rubbing alcohol, antibiotics, and beer, but forgot
Just
to
the
buy,
essentials.
Yeah, but forgot to buy bandages. She got beer.
Okay.
Yeah.
According to the affidavit, Guo told the police at one point during the day the man told her he was cold and might die.
He was in complete shock.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So she gave the man some ibuprofen, a Propel water, and, quote, greens. But soon after, his eyes went dull.
Yeah, he doesn't have a hangover. He's bleeding to death.
Yeah. The Mesa County Coroner's Office is responsible for releasing the identity of the deceased as well as the cause and manner of death. And she is being held at the Mesa County Detention Facility on $1 million cash bond.
Wow.
So
there's more to
that is-
this.
She stabbed him in the leg, cut off his dick, went to the grocery store ostensibly to buy things to help him, came back with rubbing alcohol and beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so.
And
Did you
then-
say something at the beginning that kind of alluded to maybe she wasn't even pregnant?
It just says she believed she was pregnant.
Claims she believed. That's
According to
sounds very
her,
strange.
She was pregnant. Okay.
again, this just happened.
Yeah, so we might not know for a little while.
Mm-hmm. So he bled out.
Wow.
Isn't that wild?
That's awful.
That's grisly.
And she's like, here's some broccoli and a Propel.
I
And then he bled out.
I mean, it feels intentional. You know?
Yeah. I mean,
She murdered him.
she literally murdered him. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to hear updates on that one because that's
Wow.
fucking weird.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
All right.
so here's another headline. This one is out of Jacksonville, Florida, and it is substantially weirder. Also just happened recently. Police were investigating Thursday morning after human remains were found buried in the backyard of a Jacksonville home, according to the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office. So the owner of the home, located on Sunny Acres Drive in the Magnolia Gardens neighborhood, said he discovered, quote, toes sticking out of the ground as he was doing some yard work, according to a woman who was helping the owner with the yard work.
That's like literally a story in Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where is my toe?
The toes.
It just kind of sounds like bad Halloween decorations. Do you know what I mean? Like toes sticking out of the ground.
Yep.
So creepy.
Funny that you say
creepy.
this.
Just in your yard.
Yeah.
Funny that you say this because Amanda texted me earlier today. We had been talking about what dips we're making for our live stream on Saturday.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I've just been looking at so many dips that I'm in like food magazine, like dips mode. And she said, are you doing the one with the toes sticking out of the ground? I thought she was referring to a dip.
A dip? Like Halloween themed.
And I said, no, I'm doing something else. She's like, oh, okay. Well, if you want that story for GACC, I was like, oh, I thought we were talking about dips. And she's like, no,
okay,
bitch.
No.
When you did, in that microsecond, of like trying to make sense of it, what kind of dip did you think that was?
Okay, so
what base, what kind of mayo based?
So there are dips.
Like Halloween themed.
I've had to like research and put together so many Halloween themed snack content that there are definitely dips with those thicker pretzel sticks that you put sliced almonds on for the nails. And then those are sticking out of your dip.
Great.
And the dip is like a cheese-based, so it's like a little bit thicker
Yeah.
to hold the pretzels.
Yeah.
It's like a cheese-based dip, and then you could put a little tombstone, like a decorative tombstone at the top of it, and it looks like...
Or like a brown hummus, so it looks like dirt.
So good. You might have to do something for Saturday then.
We might.
Although no one will understand what it is.
No, because this isn't coming out for like a month as we record this, but
forget it.
I love it.
Well, for a Halloween live stream, I'll make the toes sticking out of the dirt.
Definitely,
dip.
yes. Love that.
My Jacksonville dip. Okay. So the woman who didn't want to be identified told the news station, quote, we were working inside the house and then the owner came to us and said, hey, there is something here. We have to call 911. I said, okay. I was shook.
Yeah.
So it said I didn't see any photos, but I think there are photos out there of what appeared to be a human foot sticking out of the ground. So the woman said of the toes, quote, they were all black and stuff, but I guess that was from decomposing. I just hope everything gets solved. My reaction to this is just craziness. I would never expect this, especially at a house that I am working at. So they were doing renovations at the rent. It was a rental property.
No.
Oh, Jesus.
So, quote, me and my son, we both was here and we were just looking around trying to see what else we need to do to the house. We put new windows and new kitchen and bathroom, just trying to make it right for the next homeowner.
Oh.
This is the homeowner speaking. I want to offer my condolences to the young person or to the person they found at my property. No family should have to go through that at all. That's the first thing I want to say. No family should have to go through that. I don't know who it is. I don't know what the situation is. So authorities are investigating. Basically, this person has another neighbor had lived in the neighborhood for 7 years, and she's shocked by the news. Quote, this is a quiet neighborhood, so this is something that rarely happens. I still feel safe here, and we all know each other, and we're like family.
Yeah, but you're usually murdered by people that you know and are like family. So wake up, sheeple.
So now it's up to the medical examiner's office to determine who the person was and exactly how they died. quote, the body tells you everything about the case. And in this particular case, when it's a buried body, there's usually some extensive level of decomposition. No shit.
Lucy, you would know this, wouldn't you? Like, what point, or does it just depend on the soil? But what point do you just have like blackened? That sounds like bog kind of.
Yeah, well, any kind of decomposition depends so heavily on the environment that it's in. So if you're buried, it depends on like the type of soil, how much oxygen is in there, how much like water is in there.
Yeah, it's Florida, so it could be pretty wet.
Yeah.
Soil, which could have sped up some of the decomp. But
I guess your body gets
Interesting.
black. I mean, it's not just skeleton.
Yeah.
This couldn't have been that old.
Toes, Jacksonville. Sorry,
But I
I'm
know
looking
there's
for
like,
it.
if there's like bogland, like in Ireland, there's like, there's like, you could be centuries old, but it's like you're preserved in weird, kind of just depends on, but they're black, like they're just like
The
blackened.
skin, Ugh.
Okay, I found a picture.
Oh!
Did you?
It's not the greatest picture. You can't really tell. It's just like a
It's
pile
okay.
of dirt. You really
Okay.
can't tell.
Okay.
It's sort of
Well,
like the
we'll
lady
find
who
out.
saw the Sasquatch.
It's just not much of the
It's a
photo.
pixel.
Yeah.
It looks like it's been shaded. It looks like it's just in like loose black dirt. Yeah. So so this guy is saying it's a very meticulous process. It may take days before they actually get to the point where they render a decision that gives the investigators like who this is. Investigators want that quicker because once again, when you start that murder investigation to figure out who somebody is, that's the first piece of the puzzle. And
Who are you and who wanted to kill you?
Yeah. The neighbors are upset. They just want to know what's going on. And this just happened recently too. So another one to stay updated on.
That's creepy.
Wow.
Toes.
So creepy.
Toes are the first thing you see. Ooh.
It's like that.
That's
There are
the
those
creepiest.
mushrooms that are called dead man's toe or whatever, because they're like like silvery purple almost.
And they look like they have nails.
They look like they have nails. They look like toes growing out of like rotting tree stumps and like earth and they're so creepy. Yeah.
Oh my god, they look. That's
Are
so
they wild?
creepy. Literally, the first picture that's come up is like under a piece of bark. So
Yep.
it looks like something's landed on someone's foot.
That's so
Mushrooms,
gross.
fungi is the fucking coolest.
Yeah.
It's the weirdest, most alien,
It's
creep
so
show
alien.
shit.
People think
on our
it's literally
planet.
alien.
I believe that. I believe that.
I think so. That's incredible.
Yeah. Anyway,
Well-
dead man's toe.
Dead man's toe. So that's kind of a really nice segue into my next story. This one was sent in by Krista H. Another creepy yet natural nature.
Oh, okay. Theme.
Yep.
Great. Love
so
it.
The title of this one is Family Members Infected with Brain Worms After Eating Undercooked Bear Meat.
What?
Two things that are really hot on TikTok right now, just coming into one headline. Bears, brain worms. We've got RFK. Would you
What?
rather run into RFK or a bear
Mm-hmm.
in the woods?
Definitely
Either way,
not
you're getting
RFK.
brain worms.
Oh, I'm getting brainworms.
Either way, you're getting fucking brain worms.
Wasn't one of your things about bear meat, Amanda? Bears?
No, the lady who thought she saw a Sasquatch was told it was likely
a
just
bear.
a bear.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Well, maybe this was a Sasquatch, and maybe this is why this happened.
Maybe.
A number of family members who shared a meal of bear meat that one of the family members had harvested earlier were subsequently infected with brain worms, according to a new report from the CDC.
I want a t-shirt that says Sasquatch gave me brain worms
Would go back.
and would go back. I don't want to give any context for it at all. Sasquatch gave me brain worms. And then on the back,
Exclamation
would go
point.
back. Wake up, sheeple.
I saw Sasquatch, and all I got was brain
These
worms.
brain worms. No.
Okay, so this happened in July of 2022. The Minnesota Department of Health was flagged that a 29-year-old man had been hospitalized multiple times over a 2.5-week period with symptoms including fever, severe muscle soreness, swelling around the eyes, and various other maladies.
Stop eating bear meat, bro.
I mean, if
At
you
least cook it properly.
kill a bear, the problem was that it was undercooked. We'll get to it.
There you go. Okay.
Following his second hospitalization, the man told doctors he had days earlier attended a family gathering in South Dakota. That's
well,
where
there's
our
your first
family
mistake.
gatherings are. that one of the meals they shared included kebabs made from black bear meat that had been harvested by one of the family members in northern Saskatchewan.
Honestly, I'd try it if I trusted the cook. Like, if your dad made it, I'd try it because I wouldn't be. My concern would be, am I going to like the taste and texture of this? Not, am I going to get brain worms because it's undercooked? Like, your dad knows how to cook the game that he kills.
Honestly, this could easily be about my family because we live in Minnesota. My dad goes bear hunting in Canada. We have family reunions in South Dakota. And I've probably had bear meat on a kebab.
That's your Coven confession.
Yeah, this is it. It's happened.
I can't say
How
I've never
swollen are
had
your
bear
eyes?
meat.
Oh, shit.
Get close to the camera. They're still sunken properly.
They're way back where they normally are.
They're way back there.
If your eyes start popping, just keep an eye.
She does
Bulging.
get crazy eye. I love when you do that. When you whip your head and just give the crazy eye. It's so intense. And like the drunker you get, the harder you whip.
Oh, yeah.
It's
I whip
so
hard.
good. She whips so hard.
Okay, so this bear meat had been in a freezer for a month and a half before being thawed out for the meal. So it had been frozen.
Yeah.
But the CDC reported that because the meat itself was darker in color, it was initially inadvertently served rare, very undercooked because the meat is dark.
That's you got to use your meat thermometer.
Yeah,
You can't eyeball that.
You cannot eyeball curious. You can't eyeball chicken, for God's sake. Like,
I get so nervous cooking meat, like from a raw state. I always use my thermometer.
Yeah. I mean, we
so-
rarely cook meat in our house, to be honest, because it just like it kind of grosses me out. We're like a chicken, some fish, and a lot of plant-based products household. That's basically it.
we're pesky.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get nervous cooking
Yeah,
fish.
even doing salmon, I'm like, oh God, I don't know if this, like, I'm just pulling it apart completely.
The first time I cooked salmon, the like white like protein juices started coming out, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" I had to Google it.
I have to throw this away.
It was, I'd never seen it. Anyway,
I love salmon.
so hungry. Yum. Anyway, back to these brainworms. So family members began eating the kebabs, but noted that the meat tasted underdone, so they put all the kebabs back on the grill, recooked them, and then served it again.
But the ones who had tried it already, it was too late.
Well, 9 family members, largely from Minnesota, but also from South Dakota and Arizona, ate the meal, though some of them only ate the vegetables off the kebabs, which had been cooked and served
Politely,
alongside
nice.
This is
the
so
bear
fucking
meat.
this is so fucking Minnesotan. Like, we don't really like it, but we're gonna just politely nibble on it.
Yep. They all got fucking worms.
Wow.
We're not gonna say a word. Yeah, your politeness gave you worms, you fucking idiots.
Your politeness,
I'm surprised
No.
anyone spoke up that it might have been underdone. That's
Honestly,
ballsy.
now I want another shirt that says politeness gave me brainworms.
With just the Minnesota state of outline.
I want to start a whole line of XYZ gave me brainworms shirts. Let's do
Bonfire,
this.
baby.
Get at me, Bonfire. Let's collab. And by let's collab, I mean I need to go upload.
Yeah.
do it, guys.
And by let's collab, I mean you need
Just gotta
nothing
go
from
make
me.
it.
Okay. Doctors ultimately diagnosed the 29-year-old man with trichinellosis. Trichinellosis.
Okay.
I got there. A roundworm, which is rare in humans and usually acquired through the consumption of wild game. Once in a human host, the larva can then move through the body to muscle tissue and organs, including the brain.
Oh, great.
So it got in through their stomach and they just wiggled their way up to the brain.
Wow. Like salmon.
Like
It's going
salmon.
upstream.
Brown trout.
What are the feelings?
Yeah, what are the
symptoms?
sensations?
Like the.
I mean, it's just the larva and they're very, very small. There's a picture of the larva on the drive. And
Nah,
it's like
I'm not gonna
under
look
a
at that.
microscope.
I'm not looking at that. Thanks, though. Thank you for
I
providing
just want to
that.
think of actual worms.
I don't know. Yeah. 5 other family members were diagnosed with these freeze-resistant worms. So that was key. Remember, it was frozen for a month and a half. So they survived in the meat, including a 12-year-old girl and 2 other family members who had only eaten the vegetables. That shit was cross-contaminated. They didn't even eat the bear meat.
Oh.
In all, 3 family members were hospitalized and were treated with albendazole, which the Mayo Clinic says keeps the worms from absorbing sugar so that the worm loses energy and dies.
Guys, it also keeps you from getting COVID. It super works.
Wait, really?
No,
Wait.
it's deworm. It's a version of dewormer.
Oh, okay.
That's the joke.
Brilliant.
The best jokes are the ones you have to explain.
Yeah, my
So.
favorite kinds.
More
I really
airtime.
nailed
It's good.
that. I nailed it.
The CDC advised that the only sure way to kill trichinella parasites is to adequately cook the meat it resides in to an internal temperature of at least 165 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
And reiterated their warning that it can cross-contaminate to other foods like the fucking vegetables.
Uh-huh.
The CDC says estimates of how prevalent trichinella parasites are among wild animals range widely, but it's thought that up to 1/4 of black bears in Canada and Alaska might be
Have it.
infected.
That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised you haven't heard more about it then.
Yeah.
I guess most people cook their bear meat to temp.
Mm-hmm.
Brainworms made national news earlier this year after presidential hopeful Robert F. Kennedy Jr. disclosed that a parasitic worm he had contracted years ago, quote, ate a portion of his brain, causing potential cognitive issues.
So,
Yeah.
Charlie.
How much of this news is getting over there to you?
Yeah, I heard about that.
Okay, I'm glad.
It's so
That is-
embarrassing here.
I'm so embarrassed.
I'm so
Oh, guys,
embarrassed.
I'm living in the UK. It's a shitstorm here.
I know. You mean you're not gonna is it the Tory party? You're not like a big
Yeah.
Tory party fan?
Oh, Jesus, no. And post-Brexit and leaving the EU. And
Something
It is a
unique about
fucking
Charlie
mess.
is that she was super
She-
supportive of Brexit.
She loves Brexit.
Who's that fucking goon
That
with
was
the
a
bad
joke.
hair? The
Oh,
Trump.
Boris Johnson.
Yes.
Boris,
Yeah. But it's the same with Trump. It's that
Yeah.
like
Same.
the comic gets through. Everyone's like, oh, he was like
Yeah.
a clown, and then
Yeah.
just became so powerful and just insane. But yeah,
Yeah.
And
Is
now
he still
we're all
around?
the clowns.
he's around. He's around.
Those kinds of people never fully disappear.
No,
Someone
no matter how
needs
much money they have,
brainworms.
no matter how much power, they want to be
Mm-hmm.
a topic, don't they?
Yep. Okay, last thing. Symptoms of brainworm infection, I think you inquired about, include nausea, vomiting, headaches, and seizures.
Okay.
However, some people who contract the worms may also see no symptoms at all.
Great.
And usually these parasites get, quote, walled off by your immune system and they get calcified. So usually your body just sort of takes care of it, but apparently
how
not
do they
always.
leave your body?
Probably
Will they leave your body, or do they
Poop.
stay in your body?
Probably
Just shit
poop
'em out.
You just
Yeah.
poop them out.
Probably.
Little calcium worm bits.
But again, the larva anyway is microscopic.
Yeah, you wouldn't even see it.
I don't know how big the worms are. I don't
Let's not worry
How big
about
was
that.
Kennedy's worm?
Big enough to eat part of his brain. Also, how big was Kennedy's worm is another t-shirt that I can
It's a sentence that should not go into any script.
How big was Kennedy's worm?
It's a good conversation starter for an awkward person.
That's the best fucking thing I've ever heard in my life.
New bonfire shirt.
So genuine, too. Like, you were
How
genuinely
big was
curious.
Kennedy's worm?
How big was Kennedy's worm?
Compare and contrast.
I can tell you.
Yeah.
Let's see. The pair of okay. So in most cases, someone eats food contaminated with the eggs. The eggs hatch and, quote, sort of migrate through the body, ending up in the muscles or in the brain. The immune system then attacks the parasites and forms cysts around them that range in size from a couple millimeters to a couple centimeters.
Big
they're
enough
not-
to see with the naked eye, so that's too big.
Yeah.
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 Hate it.
Oh, they can grow up to 6.2 centimeters long, which is two and a half inches.
Oh my God.
Females,
That's so big.
females are darker brown to red in black, darker brown to red to black in color, and up to 3.5 inches long. Cool. They're thread-like.
Oh. So there's male and female. I thought they were like the same, like both sex, no?
Apparently not in these worms.
in a
Some
worm?
worms are sort of like
Yeah.
ungendered, but
Yeah.
adult male worms are greenish
Wow.
yellow in color. And so the females are like sexy red and black and longer.
Stunning. Moulin Rouge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hate it. Okay.
This is
Next.
fun. I love worms.
I know you do.
They're so cool. Okay. Last but not least, do you remember when we talked about Walnut, the crane,
Yes.
who like partnered with her zookeeper?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Walnut.
No.
Was that a funny headline? I feel like I covered that.
I think so.
Yeah.
She imprinted on her keeper.
On her zookeeper. So there's this crane at a zoo. Yeah, she like fell in love with this specific zookeeper, and they're like together.
They
Not sexually, but
In a
like each other.
biblical sense?
Not like biblically, but like
They know each other.
but like maybe.
Well, kind of. But anyway, because this is my obituary area,
No, did she die?
white-naped
Which one
crane dies at the Smithsonian National Zoo and Conservation Biology Institute. This was sent in from
Walnut.
Sarah. Thank you, Sarah. I teared up when I was reading this.
Oh no.
Staff at the Smithsonian National Zoo and Conservation Biology Institute's campus in Front Royal, Virginia, are mourning the loss of Walnut, a white-naped crane who became an internet sensation for choosing one of her keepers as her mate.
Oh.
At 42 years old, Walnut was
Oh my
considered
God.
geriatric for her species.
Walnut. Good for you, honey.
Wow.
She far surpassed the median life expectancy for white-naped cranes in human care, which is 15 years. She got to be
Wow.
42.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
15
insane.
years is the average life expectancy?
Is the median, so it's the middle.
And obviously in the wild where like they're not protected would also
Well, no, it's for specifically for cranes in human care. The median is 15 years.
Oh, okay. But still, I mean, damn.
Still, she old.
2. My God.
On the morning of January 2nd, this was of 2024, keepers noticed Walnut did not eat or drink. To improve her behavior, the veterinarians administered fluids and antibiotics while they evaluated her blood work. Keepers presented Walnut with her diet and favored food items such as frozen thawed mice, peanuts, and mealworms to improve her appetite and encourage her to eat.
Again with the worms.
Love worms.
Worm theme.
Unfortunately, she continued to decline and was transported to the hospital where she died naturally with the animal care team by her side.
Oh my
Surrounded
God.
by her loved ones.
I know. A
What a way to go after a long and beautiful life.
A necropsy revealed renal failure as her cause of death.
Oh.
White-naped cranes are considered vulnerable by the International Union for Conservation of Nature. Today, less than 5,300 remain in their native habitats in Mongolia, Siberia, Korea, Japan, and China due to habitat loss, pollution, nest predation, and poaching.
Oh.
They are beautiful.
They are beautiful.
Mm.
Leave them alone.
In the early 1980s, Walnut's parents were taken from the wild illegally and brought to the United States. They were later rescued by the International Crane Foundation in Wisconsin.
Wow,
There's a
what a
Crane
story.
Foundation.
Walnut hatched in Wisconsin in summer of 1981 and was named after a local restaurant's popular walnut pie.
That is so Wisconsin.
Totally. Because she was hand-raised by people, Walnut imprinted with her caretakers.
Oh.
As the offspring of two wild-caught cranes, Walnut's genes were not represented in U.S. zoos. This made her the most genetically valuable crane in the North American population at the time.
Wow.
The Association of Zoos and Aquariums Species Survival Plan, or the SSP.
Ooh.
Scientists... Those scientists...
So what?
So fucking stupid. Anyway, keep going.
Those scientists determined which animals to breed by considering their genetic makeup, nutritional and social needs, temperament, and overall health. This made several breeding recommendations for Walnut. However, because she was imprinted on humans, she showed no interest in breeding and even attacked potential mates.
Good for her.
She has a type, and that
They
type
were
is human.
And that type is not trying to fuck her.
Yeah.
Good for her.
In September of 2004, Walnut arrived at the Smithsonian Zoo's Virginia campus, where scientists regularly breed cranes that have behavioral or physical limitations by using assisted reproduction techniques, including artificial insemination. So when you say she didn't have sex with her keeper,
Oh.
that's up to interpretation.
Got it.
Oh.
By observing and mimicking how other male white-naped cranes interacted with their mates during breeding season, birdkeeper Chris Crow
I remember freaking out about this.
gained Walnut's elusive trust. He pair bonded with her by flapping his arms in a manner similar to the species' unison dance, offered her
Ooh.
nesting materials, and brought her food. So he was courting her.
Yeah, this is the way to a woman's heart.
Once she was
He was doing
receptive,
a dance.
Mm-hmm.
nesting materials,
Do a dance, build me a house, feed me.
take me to Home Goods,
Is it that
cook
hard?
me a pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what he did. Once she was receptive to breeding, Crow was able to use sperm collected from a male crane to artificially inseminate Walnut without the need for physical restraint.
How do you crank a crane's hog?
I don't know. I
To
doubt
get
their
the
hogs
sperm.
are that
Oh.
big.
I mean, I want and don't want to know the answer to that
Yeah,
question.
because like she was obviously ready for a bit of action.
Mhm.
A
But
crane.
you
He
got to
had
get
it.
the sperm.
He had a baster ready to go.
Did you just Google how to jack off a crane?
I'm looking at a crane penis. Oh, they're
my
not cute.
No, bird dicks are
Oh, of
fucking
course, yeah, how do you-
wild.
Yeah, they're really gross.
And they're often
they're
like,
like-
barbed or like hooked or
Mm.
yeah. Pig dicks are curly like that too.
Oh,
God.
Jesus. They're
Is it curly?
So, no. I can see a chicken, a quail, a duck, and a goose. Goose
They're
has a
probably
big
similar.
dick. And the other ones just look
Okay.
like chewed up bubble
This is-
gum. A quail dick is embarrassing. That's really pathetic.
Dick is embarrassing.
It's like this big and it looks like a little chewed
Just
bubble
blob?
gum. Yeah, it's a little
Ugh,
blob.
okay.
Looks like an oyster.
Great.
It looks more like the receptacle than the. Anyway, where was I? Okay.
Where
From
was
t-
I?
Do-do-do-do-do. From 2005 to 2020, she successfully contributed to 8 offspring to her species survival. To give walnuts
She was
chicks,
a mama.
Yeah, she had 8 kids. To give
Wow.
walnuts
Walnut.
chicks the best chance of survival, keepers gave her fertile eggs to. Sorry. To give walnuts chicks the best chance of survival, keepers gave her fertile eggs to other white-naped crane pairs who raised the chicks as their own because they knew that Walnut was kind of a bitch.
So she
And-
was like a surrogate mom. She didn't have to deal with those kids.
Yep. Of the
That's
8
a calling.
Walnut.
Mm-hmm. it's calling. Of the 8 white-naped cranes that currently live at the Smithsonian Zoo, 2 of them are related to Walnut. Her first chick, an 18-year-old female named Brenda, and Brenda's...
My middle name.
It is.
Cute.
Oh.
I
I think you were named after this bird.
Mm-hmm. This is the part that made me cry.
Oh, God.
Okay, so 2 are related to Walnut, the 18-year-old Brenda, who's her daughter, and Brenda's 1-year-old female chick, who has not received a name yet.
Oh, she's so young.
I don't know why that got me.
She'll never
Brenda
know her
just hasn't made her
mother.
mind up.
Maybe
Lucy,
Brenda. Yeah,
name her.
I want
Junie
her to be
Jr..
Walnut too.
Walnut Jr.
I named her after my mother, Walnut.
Or
Walnut.
like nutmeg or something.
No-
Small.
Oh, nutmeg.
That's so cute.
All right, well, that's this bird's name now. So don't worry, Lucy. She has a name,
Thank you.
and it's Nutmeg.
Many of Walnut's chicks have reached adulthood, and several have successfully bred naturally and cared for offspring with their mates.
Good for them.
Quote, Walnut, this is according to Crow, Walnut was a unique individual with a vivacious personality. She was always confident in expressing herself, an eager and excellent dancer, and stoic in the face of life's challenges.
I'm a
Eager
little
and excellent.
uncomfortable with how much he's humanizing her after inseminating her many times.
Well,
Yeah, he's really painting scenarios, isn't he?
He kind of
what
is.
He's learned
He's very
a lot
much
of.
playing into the relationship in almost
Yeah.
a creepy way.
well, he goes on to say, I'll always be grateful for her bond with me. Walnut's extraordinary story has helped bring attention to her vulnerable species' plight. I hope that everyone who is touched by her story understands that her species' survival depends on our ability and desire to protect wetland habitats.
Oh.
So there's more about
Wow.
the Smithsonian's National Zoo and Conservation Biology Institute. So if you're curious, you should definitely look that up and swing for the fences, Walnut. You were so sweet.
I love her. Rest in peace. 42?
42
42.
fucking years old
42.
for a
My
white-naped
God.
crane in human
Wow.
To
captivity.
Walnut.
To Walnut.
Walnut.
A big
Wow.
old Stanley. Ow, my wrist.
All right. Well, that's about sums up our program today.
It definitely does. Charlie Murphy, thank you so much for joining us. Tell the people where they can find you, what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
What are you up to?
Outside your house, probably.
Lighting my porch on
where
fire.
Can you, exactly. What am I up to? I've just finished a job. When I was chatting to you guys, I was in Amsterdam. We were filming there. It's by the writer of Ozark, Mark Williams.
sick.
It's a new show called Safe Harbor. So we've just wrapped. So, I mean, that's going to come out in a couple of months, I'd say. And
Cool.
yeah. Lots of nice, fun projects coming up
Cool beans.
everywhere, all around Europe. Yeah. So
I
lots
love
of
it.
traveling and lots of fun adventures ahead.
You got social
Well-
media?
Sure do. Yeah. Charlie, what is it? Charlie Murphy actress?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
You nailed it.
Very
There's,
lovely.
there's no,
I love it.
that's it really. Yeah.
Well,
All right.
I hope you enjoy the rest of your little break. And yeah, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for joining us
Oh, that
today.
was so enjoyable. Thank you so much. And yeah, I'm just so happy I got, one of the coveted poo stories in there. I mean,
You sure
it's
did.
Always, it's
And
always a
we
blast.
can't wait to watch you on our TV screens very soon.
Mm-hmm.
Again,
Thank you.
for the millionth time.
Well,
I'm ready.
Great.
thank you, listeners, for listening. And if you have any Coven confessions or Coroner Corner or funny headlines, definitely send them to us. You can find out more at our contact page on our website, wineandcrimepodcast.com. And we will see you next month.
Bye.
Bye.